What's up, YouTube? It is Sunday night, and man, do we already have some hype building for tomorrow. Unless you've been under a rock for the past 3 or 4 days, you might have heard about the notorious BBIG. That's right, we got a new short stock. Oh boy. As you can see, we got a couple of comments already filling into the Facebook groups. Hype is already starting. Let's take a look at what actually started this. Got an article pulled up for you right now. Basically, on Friday, the shares increased almost 81%. Absolutely insane. And yes, this is another potential short squeeze. Basically, we have this company, Vinco Ventures, and their ticker symbol is BBIG, a leader in selective acquisitions, leveraging new market opportunities by utilizing the BIG strategy: buy, innovate, grow. And basically, they closed Friday at $5.30, up from $2.93. And let me pull you over here, and you can see that, in fact, they do have 50% of the float shortage, which is crazy. 2020 and 2021 has been absolutely outrageous for these shorted stocks. Just to put it into perspective, generally anything over 5% is considered a high short. And over the past year, again, unless you've been under a freaking rock, you've noticed companies being short at 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%. Of course, there's Gamestop, where there is 150% shares shorted, which literally can't actually happen, but whatever. So let's dive into this article real quick. A couple of small points. Basically, they made an acquisition and have a bit of a spin-off, as they're going to start focusing on some NFTs, which, if you don't know what that means, stands for non-fungible tokens. Basically, this is a pretty new, I guess you can call it, type of asset that's going to kind of come into play over the next 5 to 10 years. It's on the same level kind of as cryptocurrencies. But it's going to be pretty interesting nonetheless. They're, as far as I'm aware, one of the very first companies that are actually focusing on this, which is pretty neat. One thing I did want to do is be big old Elmer Fudd. That's right, Mr. Elmer Fudd. And we're going to look at the company's financials real quick just to see what's actually going on here. And let's look at the income statement real quick. Generally, when I'm looking to buy a company, that's not 50% shorted, I'm looking for increasing revenues year over year, and unfortunately, they haven't really increased revenues, but they are kind of in line. Nothing too fancy going on there. Profits, profit margins, kind of staying relatively stable. One big thing here is their expenses have skyrocketed the last 12 months. 4 or 5 years ago, huge increase in expenses. Next main thing, we're going to look at that net income. Jesus Christ. All right, you can see that just as clearly as I can. That is a big time loss. Let's exit out the net income there. Scroll back up and take a look at the balance sheet here. One big thing here is to look for their total assets compared to the liabilities. Just generally speaking, you want a company to have more assets than they do liabilities. Liabilities are debts, things that are owed, and they unfortunately do not have more assets than liabilities. It's not an end-all thing here. Ooh, big oof. Those shares outstanding. Jesus. Wow. I don't even know what to say. That is an increase of all increases. What the fuck? All right. Cash flow statement. Let's see if these guys are actually bringing anything in. Big time negative numbers. Wow. Losses on losses on losses. So just based on this is definitely a big time hyped stock. To be fair, it should be. Anytime you find a company that's 50% has 50% of the float shorted, by all means, take advantage of it. Just realize what you're doing and what you're getting into. This isn't necessarily going to be a long-term hold position. There's definitely going to be a lot of money to be made in the short term, though. 50% shorted. These guys aren't going to want to cover that soon and quickly. If they do, it's just going to skyrocket this thing. You could very easily potentially see $10 a share, which would not be unreasonable at all. Well, that's going to be a fun one for Monday. Jeez. We'll see if the hype train keeps on moving on. Don't hate on Mr. Elmer Fudd too much. I'm just doing my due diligence. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Know what you're buying, have an exit strategy, and have some fun. See y'all next time.